The wonderful expanse of the desert allows every one of us to really hoard some good stuff.
Hey, Ian.
And my friend John is no exception.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Right out the gate, I spot treasure.
This is cool. It's like a Baja Bug, but for drag racing almost, with these tires on it. Wow.
Yeah, that's one of my weird creations.
Well, see, this has got the real 70s flavor, you know?
I love it.
I was born in 1970, so 70s vehicles were reminiscent of all the flavors that I came up with.
There's something to be said for this style ride too, man.
That's my first love, is that styling period, and I'm trying to make that translate into this new project.
Take me to your treasure trove.
I got all the goodies out here in the back.
It's like he has his own little paradise out in the middle of this wasteland.
This is basically the junk pile, but I think you'll like what I have out here because I think this is what you're going to be really interested in.
There's the jewel on the lot right there. That's what I'm talking about.
My passion, at the root of it, is weird cars. So, hey, it only lends itself to all the fiberglass kit cars that were built in the 70s.
Oh, I got a thing for fiberglass buggies. You don't know, I've done a couple of them in the past. This is a later model because it's more square. The earlier ones were very round.
There's so much you can do with it. There's no really structural damage or anything to it.
No, this is in great shape.
The thing I like most about fiberglass buggies specifically is that they're lightweight, they're super strong, and they just look cool. Depends what world you're living in, but in my world, all these elements add up to the perfect wedding gift.
I think this is definitely the move.
If you're interested in this, I'll make you a good deal on it. And like I say, I'd love to see what your final product is with it.
Say no more. This is just a bare body, so now we're on to the other pile of parts. I think I got what it takes to make this thing come together.
Some people collect watches, some people collect artwork. My favorite thing is used car parts.
Everybody's got to have a little Volkswagen scrapyard, and I got a little one too.
Bottom line is I've got quite a bit of VW stuff.
I've had this little bug project for a while. Somebody cut it in half and they were going to shorten it and never got any further. In looking at it now, I could tell right away it's way too short. That's not a candidate as I had hoped. First thought with this project was this sandrail that I had sitting back here. You know, first thing, it's pink. Gals love pink, so do I. The more I looked at it, I was like, well, this is supposed to be, you know, a really good wedding gift. So to give her something that throws sand in her face probably isn't the best idea. We don't want sand in the teeth, and we don't want to get cooked by the sun, but we want a cool ride.
Have no fear, we have more options in Honest Ian's used VW Emporium.
One cool thing is I have this stock length floor pan, and it's got surface rust. It's got a couple modifications to it, but it'll be ideal for the buggy project.
The whole thing is start with a clean slate. So starting with an unmodified stock floor pan, it's just as if you were doing it back in the day.
The shop inspectors aren't totally on board with what my plans are here, but I got a couple ideas. I got a few tricks that should turn it in my favor.
There is no time like the present. Let's get back to the shack and start configuring. I've done a bunch of VW dune buggy projects in the past, and I put a spin on each one. They all have a very unique character, and this one will be no exception.
They do say that diamonds are a girl's best friend, but I don't think we're at that capacity just yet.
There's one thing I can see, is the diamond in the rough. That's the key in every relationship. It is not forged at the starting moment. It's nurtured, it's built up. It's a refined process based on respect, mutual admiration, and a lot of money. Solid body, solid chassis, time to get to work. First thing on the agenda is the first thing with every dune buggy chassis, and that is it needs to be shortened. You see how it comes up and over the top? It fits up perfectly here, but when you look at the front, see this part here has to mate with that part here. It's always about a 14-inch chop on these style. You always take it out behind the emergency brake because that's one of the straightest parts in the whole chassis. I'm not 100% as to why dune buggies were created on a shortened floor pan, but I can imagine the turning radius, you know, they'll turn corners a lot tighter when they're shorter, and the shorter wheelbase acts kind of like a Jeep in that it won't high center, won't get caught up between the tires if you're crossing a rock or something. Bottom line is the shorter wheelbase makes it look a lot more like a toy, and that's all thumbs up from me.
Kind of like a heart transplant. You get to see all the things.
At this point in my career, I've done so many of these projects that shortening a floor pan is kind of like washing the dishes. You know what you got, you know where you're going, and you just go through the process. All right, well, that's the 14.5-inch section. You can see it's very close. What I did is I made this key cut here. So see, the floor pan will overlap the rear. So I got 2 keys. So these will join on the edges, but then the center sheet metal will be a lap joint. This slice and dice was the first step in our buggy creation. And you know there's gonna be a lot more where that came from. It's gonna be awesome. You know, back in the day when the dune buggy craze was really in its prime, you could buy just about everything. It was a real catalog-oriented bolt-on market. So people were building their own stuff, and that's kind of where I'm trying to stay. It's like, well, every catalog built buggy would have certain elements, but mine are unique. I just want to chuck this body on here. That way I can take a look at the front end and see like how the bumper feels. Perfect fit, like it was made that way. You can see with the shortened wheelbase, it's already got that speed buggy feel, you know? You got your rear tire here, you got your front tire here. As per the usual, I like to loosely assemble all the parts just to see what I'm working with. It's gonna be a tube bumper, so I got a piece of tube. How's that sound? I was thinking like it would kind of curve up, just following kind of the line of the buggy. I have a small skid pan in the front. I'm not thinking anything crazy elaborate for this front bumper. You know, I want it to look good, fit with the body, and just protect the underside from the elements. It's cool, I'm just gonna take some right out of the center. This style of joining the tubes is used all the time in a lot of different ways. It just becomes part of the assembly. It's trapped in there and it makes the tube join way stronger. Now, how do we attach it to the car? It's the old welded jack stand technique. That. A method as tried and true as the jack stand itself. That's what I'm looking for. It's not straight down, it's not just bland. This is what I was hoping for, you know? It wasn't a real wild throw of the dice. I just needed something that looked right on the front of the car. So this triangulated structure will be plenty for this car. It's not gonna be doing the Baja 1000. It's starting to look a little bit more the part. I think my big issue is the way that the shape of the fiberglass looks with the tube right now, but later when the body's mounted, probably gonna trim it just like that. The last element to the bumper is a skid plate. These fiberglass bodies are pretty weak and the gas tank is right up front, just like the stock Beetle, so the skid plate will protect anything from coming up and piercing that fuel tank. I like to keep it real simple in the Wild West. Just a few simple mounting tabs underneath and this skid plate is ready for some skidding. Now, one cool thing about these screws is they never seem to go in on the first try. Try number 1. Try number 2. 3. It's a good thing the shop inspectors aren't around because this is the exact type of incompetence that they thrive on. It'll just be between us. Let's get one in. There it goes. I look at that bumper and it's gnarly, dude. One big aesthetic with a dune buggy is the exhaust because the engine's exposed. These are kind of old school. They'll shine up, there's no real rust. Kind of like a jet boat look. Makes a cool sound. I got all this cool chrome stuff for the engine. Chrome valve covers, chrome alternator, chrome cylinder tins. I got carburetors, I got pedal assemblies, I got brake hoses. So I'm basically gonna take this pile here, and throw it over there, and there'll be a dune buggy when I'm done. You might not see it yet, but I know I do. So let's get to seeing so you can see what I see. See what I mean? We'll see. Now it looks like a race car, doesn't it? What a difference. I got some tubes mocked up just to look at this bumper idea. You know, I started with some 1.5-inch tube, set up some tabs, and I kind of got an idea of how they're gonna get arranged. So these are gonna come in like that on both sides. Under the engine, you can see 2 more tubes with the same detail. So that's the setup, and it's nothing new. The only thing I'm doing different is making it unique. You know, how do I make something that's not like one you would buy off the shelf? In the way that I fabricate a lot of things, consider it like the first time you walk up a staircase, right? You put one foot, you figure out your balance, and then you step again, right? And the more you climb, the more accomplished you feel. So with these style bumpers, this upper tube is usually perfectly straight. I don't want the bumper coming way out here and then having that thing firing right into it. So I think what I'll do is to match the front, I'll come in with kind of a V design, because I want these two tubes to be parallel on both angles and just go under the exhaust and over. Primary importance, first step is to protect the engine. Second step is have it act like a bumper. Third step, try to make it look cool and see what it could do. One step at a time. It's a pretty straightforward project, and it's another case where these sleeve inserts really streamline the process. So it might be just a bit too wide. Let's see. Whenever I'm making something that I don't know what I'm doing, which is most of the time, I always leave the ends a little bit long, and I creep up on the end result. Looks good in tint. I'd say we weld it. Just like the front end of this buggy, the rear end is the same. I'm gonna triangulate the rear bumper and, of course, add in that skid plate to protect the sump of the engine. That bumper is good to go. Dynamite! I got Tom up to speed on the project, filled him in on all the details. When I was out at John's house, I found one more piece that's gonna make this buggy next level. So this is actually a roof for the car.
Oh, wow.
What got me about this, it's almost like a 64 Impala where it's got that little subtle ridge in it. I've never seen a buggy roof like this. This is definitely one-off.
It gives the car attitude.
Yeah, that was the whole thing with this. You know, it's so cool, and that's what John said. He's like, I saw this at the swap meet. I traded a guy a special transaxle for a dune buggy, etc. He's like, I love it too. That's why I'm showing it to you, so you can't have it.
Okay, so you can't have it, but so what are we supposed to do with it?
He's letting me have it, but I can't have it, and he needs it back.
Okay, so wait a minute. You can't have this. It has to go back to him.
That
so that
is
means we
correct.
can't use it.
We can use it, but we can't keep it.
All right.
It's like one of those riddles.
I'm kind of confused. What are we supposed to be doing?
If you step into the lab, all will be revealed. We're off to a perfectly good start. Tom is thoroughly confused, and I'm having a good time. So check out this contraption. Hop on the other side. So I want to make a mold of this thing, so we'll have 2 or 3 roofs. I'm going to mix up plaster and make a hard plaster mold.
Oh,
That way I could steal the shape and I can give him back his original, and I still get to keep one.
I like the way you think, man.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Concentrated evil. The more you mess with this, the dirtier it gets. It's like playing with powdered donuts. This is a very hands-on approach and not a spectator sport.
I like that old school technique you're using.
Gotta get all the lumps out.
Get in there and mix it up.
Oh man, this is gonna set way too fast. Yeah, it said 20 minutes, it was more like 1 minute. Mucho bueno. Now we're making progress. It looks like a giant mess. I mean, a nicely shaped mold. We got those edges bulked up. I'm gonna try to just lay this over the top, kind of like syrup. As disheveled as this thing looks, I know there's a history to this process and it's worked out before. All right, so now we take all this burlap and we just start coating it. Slap it.
Dip it and slap it, huh?
That is correct. So just like you got a cast on your leg, it's the same thing. Now all we have to do is let this thing dry and the beauty will be released, like a moth emerging from a cocoon.
Man, you weren't kidding when you said it's gonna make a mess.
And you know what Ed Ross said?
What did he
Big
say?
mess, big success.
Sheesh.
Tom, we've done wrong.
Dude, what happened?
I was here alone, I was feeling ambitious. I put a strap around it, I tried to lift it up on the chain hoist, and when I rotated it to flip it over, every time I moved it, it just came apart more. As soon as I saw that crack the first time, I knew it was game over. That's why it's all crunched up. I balled it up and threw it in the corner.
I set it back up and I made a new mold right after that, same day, back
Oh
to
wait,
back.
this is a mold?
Yeah.
I thought this was the roof.
No, this is the new and improved mold. It's the same concept, but it's fiberglass now.
Oh.
So this is what we're supposed to have with the plaster. So see, you can just lay it upside down, and now you have that perfectly smooth, finished shape. There's your negative of the roof.
Dude, why didn't we just do this to begin with?
Just try to work it as quick as possible.
Some may say, you know, Ian, that's a lot of work for such a simple roof, but you know, I want it unique, I want it custom, I want it my own. So I'm just gonna keep on slogging through to get what I need in the end. This is the story of fiberglass laminating. You know, you paint the resin into this mesh and then you do multiple layers depending on how thick or rigid you want it. I'm probably gonna stop with about 3 layers across the whole thing, and then the edges will be built up to about 5.
Got a really interesting stank.
We got the roof all laid out. We let it set for a full day, and now it's time for the big reveal.
All right, man, well, check this out. I got some good news.
All right, I like good news.
And I got some bad news,
Oh no, come on.
as usual.
What happened now?
Well, one thing I didn't tell you about, how hard it was to get the mold off of the roof skin. We used the release oil, but man, is it stuck.
Tom has every right to be concerned. Have you taken a look at the guy he's working with? I'd be hesitant. Tom has chosen his weapons. I've got mine. It's time to get in there and start hacking away. The technique here is to just try to remove it as gracefully as possible without damaging it. It usually breaks free. Usually.
I'd really like to avoid doing this a third time.
Same. Damn, my bright ideas.
Corners are definitely a pain in the butt.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
Like the old saying goes, if it's not working, try a bigger hammer.
Here, let me use the little pry bar.
Little pry bar.
Oh! Tommy Nine Fingers.
It's a little one.
You're gonna live. Sorry about that, bro.
That's all right. I'm good.
Release!
Now my hand's stuck.
Oh, really? It's a monster.
So you hear creaking, you hear cracking. We're waiting for that big pop. It's about ready, Captain. You're waiting for that release. Aha! Eureka, at last. There she blows.
Woo!
Look, it's another roof.
It was a total relief that the thing came apart. Unfortunately, it's not in the best condition.
I don't know, man. I'm actually pretty happy with the results. That's looking pretty cool. I mean,
You know, body work, that'll be a day of just messing around. Let's clear this riffraff aside and get to the fun part. Let's get back to building some cars.
yeah.
It was a little rough coming out of the mold, but I did some patchwork, a little body filler, smoothed it out. It's totally usable, as ugly as it is.
There's a lot of complicated ways you could create this hinge mechanism system, but out here in the Wild West, I go for the straight ahead approach.
Real simple. You got a hole there, you got a hole there. That bracket just bolts in.
Part of the way this roof was designed and my mold wasn't even set up to fit on this car. I always figured I'd have to do some adjustments later, so this metal bracket inside allows me to both rigidize it and to make the panels line up with the body lines. Seems like a simple task, but without this metal structure, it just wasn't gonna fit, so it's like a dual purpose win. Voila!
See, now that's parallel, as it should be. So the idea is you don't have to crawl through these holes. You just approach the vehicle, lift her up. You got all the room in the world. You can just come across. So, Honest Ian's Mediocre Upholstery is back in business. When mediocre is just good enough, call us.
My goal to create this soft top is to first put a layer of foam over the fiberglass and then cover that with vinyl to achieve that soft top look. Seems like a simple task, right? The worst thing you want to see is as you're driving, this vinyl's like flapping in the wind. So that's the chief element here, is to try to keep it stretched taut so that it looks good in hot and cold weather.
That worked.
Surprise, surprise. With all the different colors and whatnot, you know, it looked like it was really, really uneven, but you can see with this stretched over, works perfect. Picked up some white vinyl to finish off the roof, but the story doesn't end there. You can clearly see one is longer than the other. I assumed that the vinyl was the same length as the foam, and apparently that's not the case. It just might make it. This is it laid out. You can see. One of the issues with Honest Ian's Upholstery is that we don't have much of a stock. In fact, this is our entire surplus. So it comes down to the fact of we gotta make it happen with what we got. All right, I don't know how else to do this except just do it. It seems like it's gonna look okay. Looking at it, I think I may be able to just make the corner, just get a grab if I can just stretch a little more material. Nope. I have to come up with some kind of creative solution. I'm sure every do-it-yourselfer at home has faced the same thing, you know, whether you're putting in flooring or painting a wall, you get right to the end of it, and it's like, ooh, I'm out of material. The show must go on. The big thing here was if I got a wrinkle in the center of this, there was no way around it, so I really paid attention to the center. I just got away with it. But all in all, that's a good look. Talk about putting lipstick on a pig, watch me go. Next up is the paint, and that will offer me some time to consider my creative solution for this roof issue. I like that, it's like an arrow. So what if the graphic not only was on the hood, what if this line came all the way through like that, but then it continued back here. So it's like it came through the whole car.
Yeah, no, that is really cool. The way it comes down, shoots all the way to the back.
This got kind of like that, you know, Wonder Woman, kind of 70s, kind of pops off of the surface. You think about, you know, the t-shirt styles in the 70s or like the tube socks with this, you know, very simple lines on them. We're trying to translate that flavor into this. You know, yellow's her favorite color, so I mixed up this paint. I know she's gonna like it.
Very 70s.
That's what I was thinking.
Very
you know?
70s, I love it. Yeah.
That with a little flake on top of it, I think it'll look mellow, and then in the sun, it'll have a lot of action, you know? Let's mellow it out even more. Oh yeah, look at that. That just went to custard.
That's a mellow yellow. Nice.
It looks like we have a perfectly loose plan. I'm gonna let Alan do his thing. Make Jamie happy. Make her proud of me.
Yeah, definitely.
I think this dune buggy's wrapped up. First and foremost, shakedown run. Desert hills, you run this thing and see what falls off. The terrain around this area is pretty unique. It's not like sand dunes. That's why I chose the tires I did, because this thing, it's like a little tank. The short wheelbase, and when you put big tires on them, they bounce around. Watching them go is only half as fun as actually being in a driver's seat. Alan was a huge help on this paint work. It's very simple, but there's a couple details in there with the metal flake that really makes it count. Now it really hits home. Like, why the heck was this guy building a wedding gift that's a weird old dune buggy, right? Now you can see, got a lot of trails, like hundreds of miles of trails when you go out touring. I gotta say, I hate to be selfish. I love this car. I hope she does too. So, for the lady that has everything, like what could a man like me possibly offer? And all of the ruminating has led up to this.
Oh my God. Is that a dune buggy?
Yes, thought you might like one of these.
I love it. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's basically a Volkswagen, it's a stick shift, but it can go anywhere, all around here.
Right. Oh, I know how to drive stick shift.
Right. I gotta say, this is why we got married. She's thrilled. You know, sometimes I could impress people, and she's one of those people.
It's perfect.
It's got some Mustang taillights. It's
I
got a
love
Volkswagen engine.
it.
It's got the metal flake paint job.
Is that glitter?
Oh yes, it's got the glitter.
I was genuinely surprised. It's beautiful. It's so cute, and it just looks like me. Like you picked it out for me. He knew that it would be perfect.
authentic 70s antenna on a spring.
It's like totally like a 70s vibe.
Oh yeah, it's fully legit 70s funkadelic machine. You know, I thought about this a lot. I thought about the colors, I thought about the comfort, you know, the way the paint was laid out. You know, I want to personalize it. I know her style. Seems like it was a good choice.
It's kind of like a Wonder Woman-y, like vibey.
I was thinking about
Kind of
that
like
type of
look,
thing.
yes.
Like it's got a flavor. When you look at the car, like what's it make you feel like? Let's rock.
Right. This is definitely a wedding present. I would have never expected it.